What's going on, guys? I'm Mighty back at again with the weekly Real Skins videos, and as you can see, it is finally Halloween and we've got some sick looking skins. We've got some face punch items, and overall we have made profits from our last year's face punch items, but also all of the face punch items that have re-released, which is all of them from last year's store, have gone down on the community market. Now, there is a way for you to actually still profit off of this, and that is by using third-party sites to get rid of those items before the prices do adjust on those sites. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to say any sites in particular, but just keep that in mind. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you actually do make money from even just that tip. But I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and let's get started with the clothing. We have the large candle set. As we all know, that is definitely very unique clothing, but it is also a unique face punch item. This is a re-release, but overall I do think that these are going to make you easy money. They're $5.50. They've made me easy money each year, and I do think that the large candle sets are going to be a profitable investment. So what they are is just a unique candle that you can craft. You can't craft other candles like that, and then they do have a limited time. So unfortunately they're not unlimited light supplies, but overall they can be pretty helpful in the base. Not going to get too much into detail about that. If you really want to watch a detailed video on how they work, then I guess go to that German guy or someone else. But overall, I will recommend investing in the large candle set, and I do think that they are going to be a profitable investment. Moving over to the mummy wraps, going for $8.25. I also think this is going to be a profitable investment. They've been in my pay to win skins video. If you haven't watched my pay to win skins video, make sure to check that out. I may or may not leave the link in the description of the video if I remember. But what these are a unique face punch skin for the underwear, and overall I do think that these are pay to win because it makes it look like you're more geared when you're naked early game, just because it looks like you're wearing clothes, whereas obviously you're not, you're just naked. So that makes it situationally more pay to win at times, because sometimes people will try and avoid you in PvP because you look more stacked. $8.25. I do think these can make you money as well. I do think they're going to re-release next year, but I don't think we're going to be getting any more unique underwear skins for any time in the near future. So overall, I do think the mummy wraps, even though they have re-released, are still going to be a profitable investment. So I will recommend investing in the mummy wraps for this week. Alrighty, moving over to the wrapped brain bell-up head wrap skin, going for $1.35. Overall, I do think this is quite a unique looking head wrap skin, but these days it looks like we're getting a lot of unique head wrap skins. We had the freak head wrap skin last week, and that's only got 40 on the community market, 40 quantity, but it is starting at $1. So overall, the wrapped brain is only going for $1.30. Overall, I still really don't think it's going to be a crazy investment when it comes to being too risky, but I also don't think it's going to make you too much money, if any. So I'd recommend trying to just maybe hold off on this one, pick it up on the community market. You'll probably get it for cheaper, judging by the fact that the freak head wrap is only starting at $1 for this week on the community market. But overall, as a long-term investment, if you do pick it up off the community market, I do think you will make money. But I really don't think it's going to be that much, because I don't think the demand is very high or high enough for bell-up head wraps. So if ever they get a buff in the future, which I highly doubt they will, then their value would go up slightly, but overall I highly doubt they will, at least anytime soon. So if you do invest in it, then I'd recommend getting it off of the community market than the rest of them store for this week. Moving over to the Dread Pumpkin chest plate and face mask, both are going for $1.35 each. Metal chest plate and metal face mask skins. Overall, I really don't think that these are very unique, because it seems like we're getting pumpkin metal gear every single year. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's been 3 years in a row we've gotten pumpkin metal gear. Overall, I wouldn't recommend getting the chest plate, because I don't think it's going to pair with anything, and I don't think anyone's really going to use it. But I do think that the face mask is unique enough for some people to want to use, and only $1.35 is pretty cheap. But overall, I still recommend trying to pick it up with the buy order off of the community market, just because we've already got so many metal face masks that I do think that it is likely that this will actually stay around that price or go below it. So if you place a buy order, then you're going to have a higher chance of actually making profits off of it. But overall, you'll also save money if you do want to buy it as a play skin. So overall, not going to recommend investing in this one off of the Rust store for this week, for either the metal chest plate or face mask. But if you were to get either, then get the face mask over the chest plate, in my opinion. Moving over to the Ghost Halloween AR, going for $2.75, an AK skin, and it is stockless. It does look skits, but overall I do think we have way too many AK skins for there to be anything really stand out about this one. It doesn't really have that much going on for it. But overall, I do like the design. $2.75, so I do think you're going to be able to get it for cheaper with the community market buy order. But if you did pick this one up as a play skin, then I also do see it not being so risky when it comes to picking it up, and whether you're going to lose money or not, I don't think it's going to be too bad. I don't think you're really going to lose money. It's not on the top sellers page at all. In fact, pretty much nothing is, except for the Neon Pumpkin Metal Double Door and the Ghostly Flame Door. But that is not what we're talking about right now. The Ghostly Halloween AR, overall $2.75. Not going to recommend investing in it because of that price, but if you do pick it up and you have it as a long-term investment, then I do think overall you can make money. I just don't think it's going to be a crazy amount. So not going to recommend investing in the Halloween AR off of the Rust-Bottom store for this week. Right, and moving over to the Carvable Pumpkin. I don't really know too much about this other than it's obviously a pumpkin that you can craft with a pumpkin, which is pretty cool. You don't actually need anything too crazy. I'm pretty sure it's basically just a candle. $9.60 is quite expensive, but overall I do think that you still can make money off of this because it is such a unique item. You can carve into it, you can make smiley faces, whatever you want. And I do think that some people are going to make some pretty troll stuff. So for $9.60, I do think that this can be a good role player item and might have some slight pay to win when it comes to being able to throw these in certain areas of your base just to light them up that little extra bit. But keep in mind it does require wood, so in other circumstances you could just use a campfire, but it depends on what these can be placed on, whether they can be placed on boxes and workbenches. Maybe these could be used in other spots where campfires can't. So overall, I do think the Carvable Pumpkin will make you money as a long-term investment. $9.60, so it is an expensive price. Keep that in mind, but we know that this isn't going to re-release anytime soon. It will be until Halloween next year when this actually comes back to the Rust-Bottom store. So overall, I will recommend investing in the Carvable Pumpkin for this week. Even though it is $9.60, I do think that you can still make money off of it. I hope you guys are all committed because this is clearly going to be a long video. I just looked at the others page for the skins on the Rust-Bottom store and there's a lot. So moving over to the Cursed Cauldron, this is a re-release as well. It's a campfire skin, but it is semi-pay to win in my opinion because you can actually jump on top of it and it does provide that height advantage over other campfires. So overall, I do think that this is a pay to win skin. I think a lot of clans love to use it in their bases. And for $8.25, I do think it can also make you money. Overall, I will recommend investing in the Cursed Cauldron for this week. If you really want to hear me say more about this skin, then go to last year's video or the year before that's video because I talk about it in both of those videos as well. $8.25, I do think the Cursed Cauldron can make you money, so I will recommend investing in it for this week. Moving over to the Fogger 3000, this is going for $8.25. I do think this one's going to be a little bit harder to make money off of, but I still made money off of it. Overall, I think the demand for this one isn't as high, especially because it requires low grade instead of electricity to set up, so you can't really use it as easily when it comes to traps, so you can't use it as efficiently. That would be a better word to say. Overall though, the Fogger 3000 can still make you money. It is obviously going to be a long-term investment though, just because the demand for it isn't as high as what I would imagine the supply would be after the Rust-Bottom store does end for this week. I do think the Fogger 3K is going to have quite a lot on the community market. So overall, you could probably get this for a little bit cheaper with the buy order on the community market. Try and do that throughout the week. If not, pick it up on the last day and you'll probably make money off of it throughout the year. Overall, I will recommend investing in the Fogger 3000 for this week. Alright, I'm moving over to the Ghost Pumpkin small box, going for $2.75. We do have 3 pages of small boxes, and one of those pages is below $2.75, including 2 glowing deployables, that being the Sticker Toy Car going for $2.30, with 74 on the community market, and the Outer Planet small storage box starting for $2.09, with 69 quantity on the community market. Overall, I do think that the quantity for the Ghost Pumpkin small box will probably be pretty high. But also because there is so many other things in the Rust-Bottom store, I do think that this could easily be slept on throughout the week. And $2.75 I do think is an okay price for this glowing deployable to be at. Currently the top of it actually does look like it has a pretty nice glow, but the rest of it doesn't look too crazy in my opinion. So overall, I'd recommend getting this one off of the community market with the buy order. I do think you're actually going to be able to get it for a little bit cheaper on the community market than the $2.75. So overall, I'm not going to recommend investing in this one from the Rust-Bottom store for this week, but I do think it can make you money if you hold on to it until next Halloween. Moving over to the Ghostly Flame door, going for $4.15. This is a continuation of the Ghostly Flame set. I'm not sure if the box got accepted last year, but that's going for somewhere around about $4.60, somewhere like that. It's also a glowing deployable, looks very similar to this. And there's also a Ghostly Flame furnace, and that's going for around about $18 to $20, somewhere around that price. And that was the first of the set. So overall, the Ghostly Flame set has been pretty successful in my opinion, and I do actually think these are really nice looking skins. These are some of my favorite Halloween skins to come out. And overall, I do think the Ghostly Flame door will be a successful investment. It clearly has the demand because it's on the top sellers page and is actually only one of 2 community made skins that are on the top sellers page. The rest are all face punch items. So that is saying something. The demand is clearly there for the Ghostly Flame door. $4.15 though, it's obviously quite expensive, but overall I will recommend investing in the Ghostly Flame door off of the Rustum store for this week as a long-term investment. Could also try and get it off of the community market with a buy order though, if you really want to maximize your potential profits. Moving over to the Neon Pumpkin metal double door, going for $4.15. This is a continuation now of the Neon Pumpkin set. The only other skin we have for this is the Neon Pumpkin garage door, going for $11.87. That quantity is 141, so quite a lot for a garage door skin, but the price of it is clearly stonks. Overall, I think the Neon Pumpkin metal door is also going to be stonks just because we don't have that many double door skins in the community market at all, but also because we don't have that many glowing double door skins on the community market as well. So $4.15 I do think is an okay price for it to be at. I do think if you pick it up off the Rustum store, you can make money. Obviously, if you get it with a buy order, then you might be able to get it for cheaper. You're going to be pushing it in my opinion, but you might be able to get it for cheaper and then maximize your potential profits. But overall, I would recommend investing in the Neon Pumpkin metal double door off of the Rustum store for this week. Alrighty, moving over to the Skinless Monster sleeping bag. This skin is going for $2.75. It is a sleeping bag skin and it is also a glowing deployable. Overall, I actually think this is a really unique looking sleeping bag skin. Going for $2.75, I think it's an okay price for this sleeping bag skin to be going for. And also it does look quite nice in the night when it is glowing. So I do think this sleeping bag skin can make you money, but I also do think that you'll most likely be able to get it for a little bit cheaper on the community market with a buy order. So I'd recommend trying to go for it with a buy order, but if you want to just pick it up as a play skin, get it off the Rustum store, I do think you're either way going to be able to make money with it if you get it off the Rustum store or if you get it as a buy order. So overall, I will recommend investing in the Skinless Monster sleeping bag for this week. Alright, moving over to the skull. The description for this in the Rustum store is a human skull you can use to smash things with. Very good description in my opinion. Going for $5.50. I haven't actually seen this in game for myself, but I have watched it on That German Guy's video. I do have to have one critique about this straight away. I really hate the fact that Face Punch didn't change the hand animation for the rock. So the left hand does look like it's clipping through the jaw. Just really don't like that. I think it's very lazy and it's a bit of a pet peeve for me. Going for $5.50. This is literally a rock skin. It's not a actual skull or anything like that. It's not something you have to craft that isn't actually a rock. It is literally just your rock skin. So this will answer the question that if you die, you will be able to respawn with this instead of you respawning with your rock and then having to go and craft a skull and use that as a rock instead. So you can respawn with this, and you can also skin your rock or your enemy's rock or your friend's rock if you've killed them as well at your skinning bench, and you will be able to get this skull. So $5.50, I do think this is a fine price for this rock skin in particular because it is a Face Punch unique item. First time we've ever had a unique rock skin, and overall I think this is gonna definitely be a banger. I do think the skull rock is going to make you easy profits, especially come next Halloween before this thing re-releases. I think this thing is going to be stonks. Overall, I will recommend investing in the skull rock skin for this week. Even though rocks aren't used for a very long time in white, I do still think that the skull rock is going to make you easy money, and I do think the demand is going to be there for it to go above that $5.50. So I will recommend investing in the skull rock off of the Rustum store for this week. Moving over to the skull fire pit. This is actually my more desired campfire skin over the cursed cauldron, but in saying that, that does not correlate to how I think these are going to perform in comparison to one another on the community market afterwards. I don't think the skull fire pit is going to be as successful as the cursed cauldron because the cursed cauldron does have that more pay to win aspect of it, whereas the skull fire pit is literally just a skin for a campfire. overall, I love what this skin looks like. I do think it can make you money. I just hit my keyboard, sorry. But it is $8.25. I don't think that it's going to be as good of an investment compared to the Cursed Cauldron. And seeing so you can buy both or either, I'd recommend getting the Cursed Cauldron over the Skull Fire Pit. But I do still think that the Skull Fire Pit can make you money. And so I will recommend investing in it. And if you're going to go for both, then do it. But if you're only going to go for one, then I'd recommend getting the Cursed Cauldron over the Skull Fire Pit. Stop checking your DMs. Trust me, it's not you, it's me. Overall, I will recommend investing in the Skull Fire Pit for this week. Right, moving over to the Skull Sarcophagus, probably the most edgy skin I've ever seen in Rust, and it does make me want to die, but one of those skulls ain't going to be mine. Going for $3.45, this is a glowing large chest, and overall, I actually don't want to say it, but I do think this can make you easy money. Rust players love these gross looking edgy skins like this, and I actually do think it's very unique, it's very cool. But it is extremely edgy. It's got a sick looking glow, and it also has the glow on the ends, so it's going to actually be a practical glow when it comes to loot rooms. You're actually going to be able to see your glowing loot boxes. Going for $3.45, I do think this can make you money as a long-term investment, and so I will recommend investing in the Skull Sarcophagus large wooden box off of the Rust store for this week, as I do think it is actually that edgy that it can make you money. Alright, moving on to the Skull Spikes, going for $4.15. The Rust store picture only has one picture, and that is just so stupid. But there is actually 3 Skull Spikes from memory. There is the normal one with just the skulls on it. There's one with candles on it that glow in the dark, which I consider pay to win. And there's also another one which I think has pumpkins on it, maybe spiders, something like that. And I'm pretty sure that also glows. So you've got your glowing deployables that you can put on the ground outside and slightly light up a certain area. Overall, I do consider them slightly pay to win, and for $4.15, I do think they can make you easy profits like they have me for this year. Currently starting at $5.35 on the community market as well. You can still make a very slight profit off of them, but also with the third-party sites, obviously you can make even more money because they were worth more than $4.15 or $5.35 yesterday. So overall, I will recommend investing in these Skull Spikes for this week. I do consider them pay to win, and I do think that they're definitely a good pickup from the Rust store. So I will recommend investing in them. Moving over to the Skull Trophy. Have you ever wanted to flex on your enemies that hard? You're door camping them for hours, and you finally kill them again and again and again and again, and after the 100th time, before they even rage quit, you decide, oi, how about I go and grab his skull, put it on a Skull Trophy, and then put it on the ground out the front, so that when he finally leaves his base, he finally gets to survive, he gets flexed on, and his skull is flexing on him right in front, and the memories are coming back. $12.35 can get you exactly that. The Skull Trophy, I do think, is a easy money maker, easy flex. Display your victims' names by inserting their skulls into the trophy. Comes with 4 variations. You'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them on display right now, as you guys can see. And overall, the Skull Trophy is, in my opinion, a safe, easy investment from the Rust store for this week. It is a role player item, but it still does manage to make you money. So overall, I will recommend investing in it, even though it has been re-released. Alrighty, and literally 1 hour later, we get to the final skin finally. Strobe Light going for $6.85. Yes, I did take a little break of actually recording this part of the skins video, but overall the Strobe Light isn't going to be a very good investment in my opinion. You can actually turn the strobe settings off in the settings of Rust, and so I do not consider these pay to win anymore. Honestly, back in the day, if someone had a chance of epilepsy, then these bad boys were definitely a-okay as raid defense, but not anymore because people can just turn that crap off. Strobe lights are $6.85. They don't really perform that well over the year, and I do think that other things will perform better. So overall, I'm not going to recommend investing in these strobe lights off of the Rust store for this week. But if you do want to get it as a play skin, then probably get it off of the Rust store because you probably won't be able to get them for cheaper on the community market as of right now. And now we move over to the cart. Alrighty guys, this is my cart for this week. Actually, to be honest, it is my second cart for this week. My first one cost me $55, and that was me buying all of the Face Punch items that I just sold and then rebought. So honestly, this cart actually this week hasn't actually cost me that much, even though it's cost me $105. But I'm getting one of everything else as well. All of the community made skins. I'm getting the pumpkin, the Carvable Pumpkin as well. Only one for now. Also getting 3 of the skulls. Besides that, not really investing in anything else, although I do think the other things do have potential. Going to cost me $50.15. It's cost me $105, as I just said. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and remember, have a skits one.
Why? 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 Why?